Captain Ken Chapman, the Area Commander of the Salvation Army. It has been a pleasure for me for 3 years to be able to serve in this community. I have seen this community as a place where people are resilient. People care about each other. I can see in times of hurricanes and natural disasters how the whole community comes together. The pulse shooting, all the things that have been happening during the pandemic. This community takes the resources it has and shares with those who are most in need. And it's a great statement about Orange and Osceola counties, how people care for each other. I think it's a unique place in the United States of America. And I'm happy to be able to serve as a servant here as part of the Salvation Army. And I would like for you to join us and be a part of it. You too can help us meet all these needs, because this community is full of caring hearts. And when the community comes together, when we help each other, what a difference it makes. So go to salvationarmyorlando.org. Go to salvationarmyosceola.org. Check us out. Become a part of this army, because you too can make a difference in the lives of many in our community. God bless each one of you.
People from across the nation are headed to Louisiana to help those who were impacted by Ida, which of course hit as a Category 4 hurricane, causing great devastation. And the Salvation Army is providing food, water, and other items to first responders and storm survivors. In fact, people from right here in Northeast Florida are headed to help. Joining me right now on the morning show, Major Keith Biggers, who's the area commander here in Northeast Florida. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Bruce. Thanks for having me.
So when you want to head to an area that's been hit and impacted like this, and you know how vast the damage is, how do you prepare for a task like this?
Well, we do a lot of preparation, a lot of training, and then we make sure that we have the needed supplies on our mobile disaster canteen that will be going to Florida very soon with a group of 2 responders. The Salvation Army will be there until it's no longer needed. And we already have Salvation Army on the ground there in Mississippi and Louisiana serving those who've been affected by this terrible hurricane, Ida.
You know, when those crews get there, the reality that they face in person versus the reality that they see on television is very different. What do you hear from them about that reality?
Just the immense devastation, the emotional outpouring of grief that they hear from the survivors who've lost everything, who are now trying to pick up the pieces. The great thing about it is that with the Salvation Army, we have emotional and spiritual care workers that are deployed, going to talk to these individuals, allowing them to share, to cry, to pray with, and to discuss what's going on, and hopefully to help them emotionally to recover from this tragedy. And besides that, we had a bottle of cold water and a hot meal, and do whatever we can to bring some sort of calm and peace to these individuals who are suffering greatly.
You know, I was going to say, you know, sometimes the things that we so take for granted, being able to have a drink and a sandwich and sit down with somebody who's willing to listen, goes such a long way when tragedy like this strikes.
Yeah, that's most important, to be able willing to stop, to listen to their story, because that's part of the grief process, and they need to be able to talk to someone who's willing to listen. All of our emotional and spiritual care workers have been trained and prepped for this ministry that the Salvation Army provides, and sit with them, like you said, have a meal with them, and just to listen to their story and to allow them an opportunity to share what's going on, and hopefully to give them some sense of comfort and peace about the days ahead.
And obviously there are many of us who would like to be there and do our part to help, but we can't. But if there is something that we can do to pitch in and help the Salvation Army with its efforts, what is it that we can do and how?
Well, we always will appreciate any gifts, monetary gifts. Checks can be made out to the Salvation Army and designate disaster relief, Hurricane Ida, on all checks, mailed to Post Office Box 1959, Atlanta, Georgia, 30301. That's the Salvation Army, Post Office Box 1959, Atlanta, Georgia, 30301. And designate disaster relief, Hurricane Ida. 100% of all donations will go for those affected by the hurricane. Or they can go online at helpsalvationarmy.org, helpsalvationarmy.org. Or they can make a phone call, 1-800-SAL-ARMY. That's 1-800-SAL-ARMY. Or if they have Alexa, Amazon Alexa, they can say, Alexa, make a donation to the Salvation Army. And finally, there's the text to give option. Text give to 52000 to donate $10 automatically through the cell phone bill. So we appreciate much the outpouring support for those who've been impacted by this disaster.
Yeah, and I just want to add that, some people may say, okay, well, I want to donate clothing, I want to donate food. It's easier to do the monetary donation because that way the Salvation Army can go ahead and take care of the creature comforts and make sure that the things that are needed are taken care of, and they can, purchase those items in need.